Crew inspecting a nuclear power plant reactor was shocked to find that each of the 700-pound control rods was pulsing. Realizing something was terribly wrong, he rushed to report to the control room, where the staff immediately pressed the button to stop the reactor. But surprisingly, it didn't stop. Instead, the control sensor's work lights all lit up and the power spiked instantly. Seconds later, the reactor exploded, marking the beginning of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Engineers in the control room, having never encountered such a situation, stood bewildered. Just then a staff member rushed in, yelling that the reactor had exploded. But Jack, the deputy chief engineer on duty, thought that there was no way this could have happened in their tube reactor, and that it must have been a tank explosion caused by excessive pressure. He then gave the order to first have the staff activate the water supply system to get the reactor to reduce its power, and then have the one who had come to report the explosion go get the radiation meter to test it. Then he stepped out of the control room to check the situation outside. When he saw the graphite pieces scattered everywhere on the ground, he still did not believe that the reactor would explode. The crew quickly found the radiation meter. The radiation reading was 3.6 Roentgens, but he didn't realize that's the highest limit the device can measure. The actual radiation levels were much higher, but that made Jack even more convinced that this was a minor contamination caused by the explosion of the water tank. Meanwhile, the reactor's water supply system indicated a blockage, and it still hasn't been opened. Jack ordered 2 other workers to manually open the water valves in the reactor hall, but as they struggled to get through the twisted steel doors to the lobby, the scene in front of them completely shocked them. Under the black smoke, the reactor was burning fiercely and spewing radioactive material. They ran as fast as they could back to the control room to report, but they were only halfway through their sentence when they started vomiting. Without further questioning, Jack had him taken to the hospital. Then he ordered the night shift leader to call the day shift for help. By now, the rest of the team had realized the seriousness of the situation. At the same time, a large number of firefighters arrived at the scene. They immediately started laying fire hoses. Then they started to put out the fire in their normal fire suits. In their eyes, it was just an ordinary fire, but they didn't know it would be the last firefighting mission of their lives.